Hi, this is Jack Stanley, and I wanted to talk about a word that I find somewhat problematic, and that word is genius. Now, that word has been used to describe individuals who have gone far beyond most of us mere mortals. But I want to dissect that word a little bit and play with it a little bit because I want to see that word used in a very different way. You know, we have kids all over the world going to school and learning and understanding life, history, art, science, etc. And we're often confronted with this panel of busts of geniuses of the past. And we tell them that they're geniuses. And what does that say to the kids? My God, I could never be like that, or I wish I could be like that. It's a very hard thing. You know, I've often thought that with kids, one of the greatest things that we can do is to explain what exactly a genius is. Now, first off, we could take people like Einstein. We think of Einstein as a genius, and yes, he was. He was brilliant in his field. Take him out of his field, he wasn't very much of a genius. He had difficulty trying to get from where he was teaching to get home because he could never figure out or remember where he lived. Okay, that was not his field of genius. Edison, great ideas, marketing, but many other things he did were not very genius-like. You can take all the others. Tesla, genius at times, but a complete idiot at other times. Lincoln, Churchill, Freud, Pasteur. Many, many great thinkers, inventors, creative individuals who we call creative geniuses have inspired the world. But how do we take that and inspire kids? My true belief is that we should take the word genius and spread the genius around. Now, what do I mean by that? Well, I mean that, you know, in the cases of Einstein, or Frank Lloyd Wright, or Edison, or Madison, Hamilton, whomever, they were geniuses in certain ways, but they were complete train wrecks in other ways. That's because we consider people geniuses who are geniuses in their field. Now, getting back to kids, I think that one of the greatest ways we could inspire the youth in this country is to start to show kids that they can be a genius too. You know, we don't want to make ideas and imagination and creativity more formidable than it is. And perhaps one of the greatest ways to share that with kids, perhaps, is to say that we're all geniuses at something. You might be a genius at mathematics, at science, in art. You might be a genius at tying knots. You might be a genius at cooking. You might be a genius at sports. What we need to influence kids with, the idea that each and every one of them is a genius at something. Now, granted, we can go up the ladder of genius and do amazing things. But how does one inspire kids to even want to start? Maybe it's about time that we start looking at that word genius and sharing the ideals of being a genius with our youth. That yes, Johnny, yes, Sally, you are a genius at this, and that's incredible. Give the kids some pride. Make them proud of what they do. The whole thing is that we have done many times with our education. We've robbed kids of the very necessities that they may need in growing up. And I think that one of the greatest things that we can give people is a sense of self-esteem. And so, talk to your kids, your grandkids, your friends' kids, your students. Let them know they're a genius at something, whatever that may be. Because once that kid discovers that he can be a genius at something, it'll inspire him to look further. So we have to look after the time in which we exist. And we want to inspire the future. We want to inspire young people to think and look in ways of lofty activities. And if we tell them only a handful of geniuses exist, that ain't going to help too much. So remember, we might be great speakers, we might be great writers, we might be great at this or that. And in each of us, in our field, we may be geniuses. And the same is for kids. Let's look at it that way. Let's share that. And I think posterity will be better for it. What do you think? Thank you.